What's up, everybody? Trinity here, and welcome back to the Second Street Marvel for today's comic book review. And in today's review, I'm going to be talking about Ant-Man issue number 1. This is a new title being published by Marvel Comics. In case you didn't know that already, it's Ant-Man, right? Anyway, this book is being written by Zeb Wells. Dylan Burnett is the artist, Mike Spicer is the colorist, and VC's Corey Petit is the letterer, and Eduardo Petrovich is the cover artist. And I will go ahead and I will show you those names right there where you can take a look at those, and at the same time you can get a little bit of look at the art there on this book. So guys, this is a number 1 in case you guys didn't, seems like it's been a while since there's been an Ant-Man solo series, and I don't think he's really had a whole lot of his own solo series in there, in the Marvel Universe, in the first place. I could very well be wrong there, but I think there's a couple of them. So this one takes place pretty much right after sometime after the War of the Realms, which was a Marvel Comics event that happened, at this point, probably about 6 months ago, back in the summertime of last year of 2019. So it's been a while. So what we find here at the beginning is Ant-Man, Scott Lang, this is Scott Lang Ant-Man, by the way, is there with his daughter Stinger. They're there at this the swamp area. They are stopping this drug bust of these agents, these AIM agents that are there, trying to do whatever they can, bartering for different things. Whoever knows what AIM is up to anyway. So they end up showing up. Ant-Man and Stinger end up showing up there to kind of foil these guys' plans here, and exactly what they're doing. The authorities end up showing up, the police and everything. They take all these take all the bad guys into custody and everything. And of course there's this reporter who shows up on the scene, who wants to get a picture of Ant-Man and Stinger together. Well, he's sitting there hey, Scott Lang is like, hey man, what are you taking my picture with that cell phone? Don't you got a fancy camera and everything? And just some silly stuff. I mean, the character here is written a lot like he is in the MCU, just silly slapstick kind of stuff, and I guess that's okay. That's okay. So he's sitting there, how big of a deal he made about the picture in Avengers Endgame. Yeah, anyway. So we find here, after the bust, Scott Lang is, kicking it at his pad, or so it seems like. It turns out that he is actually homeless, living in Florida in looks like probably maybe a trailer park or something in an anthill. He's sitting there living in an anthill, and I don't know, his daughter is there looking for him. Just some silly things going on, and he's out of a job and things like that. Well, lo and behold, somebody ends up coming to offer him a job, so he can go out and figure out what's going on. And the job is and he's reluctant to take it because he's a big time superhero, right? Well, it turns out there's a lot of bees that are missing here in I don't know what part of Florida this is, but he's in Florida. All these bees are missing. Bees are pretty important to all of our existence as humans and all that kinds of stuff. You guys probably all know the life cycle and all that stuff. We're not here to get all ecologist on you or get all Fernberg, Greta. We're not here to do all that right now. Okay, we're not here to talk about that. So he gets asked to go check out and investigate why all these bees are disappearing, because it's not like they're dead. They're not finding them dead. They're just disappearing and gone. So he ends up going underground to meet this enemy here, and that enemy happens to be Swarm. Now, I gotta be honest with you, I'm not very familiar with all of the, characters here, foes and whatnot of Ant-Man, or let alone all of them in the Marvel Universe. So, this is a relatively new one for me, but he gets down there, and Swarm is basically this bad guy who is made up of a bunch of bees and everything. Pretty crazy how all that works. So Scott Lang gets down there and figures out, hey man, what are you doing? He's like, hey, we need to return these bees, they're vital to our existence, pretty much. It's kind of what's going on here. So he decides to end up fighting this bad guy, this Swarm, only to end up defeating Swarm. And, I believe we are getting some firsts here as well inside of this book here at the very end, where we find that he has a couple of new enemies that come to be here at the end of the book. that pose a bigger threat than just all these bees disappearing and becoming part of this swarm here. And that is Vespa, the Spectre of Hornets, Thread, the Silkworm Ghoul, and Tusk, the Rhino Beetle Hulk. So, I don't know. I've never heard of these characters before. Of course, I've never heard of most of them because I've never really read any Ant-Man or can tell you a whole lot about that. But I thought this book was pretty silly. It was kind of funny. I guess they kind of, the story did what it was supposed to do. Kind of fills you in a little bit of Scott Lang and his family life and what's going on and introduces the villain. But altogether here, like, I've got to say, like, for me, I myself I didn't really like the art here. I'll go ahead and show you a little bit more of that art here. I didn't really like the art. The art's not for me. The story was, I don't know, it was a little silly and slapsticky, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And the art in here very much does reflect the story that's going on here. So that's not bad. Altogether, I didn't really enjoy this book that much. But, I mean, hey, that's just me. I mean, let me know what you think down in the comments below if you've read Ant-Man issue number 1. Now, the other thing they do have in here is something I think I covered in one of my other comic book reviews recently, was they had this Strange Academy preview here. Just, I don't know, like 6-page little kind of intro to the Strange Academy and what's going to be going on in there. A new book getting ready to come out here in the next couple of months. Looks like we got Scotty Young, Humberto Ramos, and Edgar Delgado here. So Scotty Young is obviously writing, with Humberto Ramos and Edgar Delgado doing the art here. Now, I gotta say, like, they're not bad artists, but like this art style for this book, I'm not sure how much I like that, let alone for a lot of the books, because I know they came in and did some issues for, I believe they did some issues for Amazing Spider-Man as well. Again, I'm not too particular on their art. They're not bad artists. This would be great art for certain books, but I don't know. I'm just not too particular about it. But, you know, that's Strange Academy. It's not even this Ant-Man book. And then, of course, you know, we get this preview for Ant-Man issue number 2. But altogether, guys, like I said, this book isn't something that I will continue reading or continue pulling or anything. I don't know, it just didn't seem like my forte. Not that I don't like silly or slapsticky or anything. It just didn't seem to really be my speed. But I don't know, let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. But that's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it, give it a thumbs down if you don't. And while you're at it, make sure that you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Get out and support your local comic book shop and read some awesome comics, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.